discover the likes of prospectors, pioneers, and a variety of colorful characters at Gateway Canyons. Early modern-day settlers to the Gateway area were primarily miners and cattle ranchers. While much of Colorado is known for its silver mining, this area was famed for its rich uranium deposits, which played a role in the development of atomic bombs as well as penicillin.
Behind me is one of the best preserved sections of the famous Hanging Flume. The flume was built between 1888 and 1891 to transport water over a course of nearly 10 miles. The purpose of moving this water was for mining gold. In this 10-mile course, the flume drops a mere 90 feet. So clearly this is evidence of great engineering. Unfortunately, the company that built the flume did not see a very large return on their investment. Of the $165,000 it took to build the flume, on top of the thousands and thousands of other dollars it took to run the operation, only $10,000 in profit was seen by the company.
Not too far from Gateway, visitors can still see visible traces of the grueling mining lifestyle.
We're at Calamity Camp, high on the Colorado Plateau. This area has a rich tradition of mining going back 100 years. During the first years, radium was sought for its medical uses. During World War I and World War II, vanadium was sought to help strengthen steel for the war effort. During the 1940s and into the 1960s, uranium was looked for. Hundreds of families moved to dozens of camps all along the Colorado Plateau. This is the remains of one of the stone cabins that were constructed around 1920. The cabins were constructed to house the families that came up to Calamity Camp to work. Entire families would come, and they'd live in one of these small cabins. Now imagine living in these without any modern conveniences, no electricity and no running water. The only real convenience and comfort that the miners had was the cook. She'd prepare meals for the entire camp using canned goods that came up from mule trains. Life at Calamity Camp was extremely difficult and isolated, especially in the early years. The winters see several feet of snow fall up here, and the summers are brutally hot and filled with insects. In addition, miners oftentimes did not get paid, and instead would work for housing and food. They were even forced to play poker without money.
The unspoiled environment and abundant resources in the region surrounding Gateway Canyons surely attracted miners and cattle ranchers, and sometimes even outlaws like Butch Cassidy.
But there was one man that came here in the early 1900s that was none of those things. He was a wealthy banker from the East, and he just loved this area. He settled 320 acres and built this beautiful old mansion. Some say he built it for his beloved wife. Some say it was a hunting lodge. But she didn't like being so isolated, and he sadly was injured in the war a few years later. It took 4 years to build the lodge, and they only lived here for a few weeks. Sadly, vandals and erosion had taken a toll on the old structure, and all that's left now is a mystery and a memory.
For more information about the history that lives on today at Gateway Canyons, call 970-931-2458 or toll free at 866-671-4733.